Let's check in with the comic book industry and go over some recent books, particularly Wonder Woman. We're going to check in with that because I did a video on it not too long ago, and the book is actually out now, and there's some really funny stuff in that book that I want to show you. But we'll start here. This is pretty funny. Steve Orlando, who was writing the Scarlet Witch comic, put this tweet out a while ago. I'm pretty sure I covered this. He said, sales are struggling alongside the whole industry. Right now, we'll hopefully get to 10 issues. To even get 15 issues, sales will need to continue to climb. It's because the book was actually selling pretty good when it first came out. And as this article from Bounding Into Comics points out, it fell off a cliff around, I think they said issue 7 when they broke down the numbers. So it was at issue 6th. The book fell to 48. 5, it was at 37. The annual number 1 at 44. And then Scarlet Witch 6 went to 48. Number 7, 46. It started off, it was in the top 20. And then it just fell off a cliff. That's because the first couple of issues on a relaunch are usually bait and switch. So it'll come out, it'll kind of be what comic book fans want, and then it will slowly devolve into some kind of current day politics because a lot of these writers can't help themselves. I'm not saying this book did because I haven't read it. I don't know what even the plot of this book was. I just remember this tweet that they have in here that he deleted, by the way. He deleted it, confirming that, sales are in the shitter for American comics. Though a lot of people like to stick their head in the sand on that one. So he had a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it came true. This book fell off a cliff, and it got canceled. Now, apparently it's going to come back in a new miniseries or a reboot or something. I'm not sure that's what they're saying, but that's how Marvel kind of masks this shit. They kind of mask it by saying that, we're going to bring the book back in this new kind of miniseries, because they don't really care about money. You know who does care about money, though? Comic book shops, and they're not doing very well. They have another one closing, I guess an iconic one. I saw Mark Millar talking about this today on Twitter. Jim Hanley's store in New York is closing. Unthinkable news, and surely to God a wake-up call to the big two. Marvel, DC, and all the U.S. indie companies added together are now 9% of the American domestic market. How does this happen when the characters are more famous than ever? The answer, Mark, is bad writing. Now, this is a problem he doesn't have. Mark's been pumping out good comics for a while now under his company, and he's doing fine because he cares about comic books, he cares about the market, and he wants to try and help it, unlike a lot of other people in the industry who put out just shit like this. Now, I talked about this a couple weeks ago. Tom King, a guy who is obsessed with Trump and Trump politics. Somehow a lot of his books become political, and they're always focused on demeaning and villainizing conservative or anybody that leans right. This whole thing is some kind of Trump cope, saying basically the plot is that the Amazons that live in America are all going to get deported. I talked about this. This is the article I used in the last video. Former CIA agent Tom King admits new Wonder Woman book is inspired by fake news about President Donald Trump. So if you remember, there was that time he closed off the country, and that was mostly due because of the coup. And then he wanted to build a wall, which honestly, if you look at the shit going on right now, probably wasn't a bad idea. But he, of course, in his head, sees it as the craziest thing ever, wanting secure borders. So he lost his mind and is now writing an entire comic book series about Trump. And now we have some shit in it or shit about it because the book's actually out now. Check out this dude that's in it. What is this guy? This is the villain. His name is Sovereign. And he holds the lasso of lies. I'm not making that out. The Sovereign wielding the lasso of lies in Wonder Woman #1. This guy, all decked out in like America's got a crown on. This is obviously supposed to be like some kind of conservative guy. That's why he's like an old white man. And he's got like, medals on him, obviously for some kind of war thing. And he's got the eagle. Like, these people hate America. Hate America. All these like radical leftists. And that's what's in that is what's in the comic book industry right now. It's all radical leftists. And if you have any kind of conservative beliefs or even lean a little bit right, they'll boot your ass out. Hell, if you're just center, left, right, if you're just center, they kick your ass out of the industry. They only want hardcore leftists writing comics. And look what it's done. You've got famous comic book shops closing. The comic book industry is in a bad place. These people don't care about sales. They want to be the people's comics. They keep thinking that communism is going to come in and they can be state-ran media or some shit. I don't know. I don't know who's buying this shit. Apparently, the first one sold out, and it's going back to second print. Even though I was in a comic shop the other day and saw plenty of them on the rack, they're going to a second print because it probably sold out in a couple of places. I don't know. Second print's coming, though. And it's just funny to me, like after issue 4 or 5, this also will fall off a cliff too, by the way, because nobody's interested in Wonder Woman fighting Trump. Nobody cares about that. But the whole premise of this book is that apparently women are having a hard time right now. Their time under Trump was the worstest ever. And this book is a response to how hard Trump made it for women when he was president. They shit up. Who wants to read this? Who likes these comics? By the way, this is the guy that turned Wally West into a serial killer. This guy, anytime he gets on a book, I just cringe and want to bang my head on the desk because all he does is damage to characters. He ruined Wally West. He ruined Mr. Miracle. He really ruined Batman. Batman, he put into a toilet. It turned him into a whiny crybaby. Simp, basically. This book's a joke. I've heard from a few people that it's awful and it pretty much is just Trump derangement syndrome, the comic. And I tend to believe it, especially after looking at this picture of the Sovereign. It looks like Ron Paul. Was that intentional? Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.